are in a funny world today, guys. We are in a world in which people are just not allowed to speak what they think. And it's it permeates professional sports now where people can never give an opinion, particularly men. Men can never give opinions when it involves women's sports, namely the WNBA. It's one of those things where apparently you can have an opinion, you can criticize male professional athletes, but you can't criticize female professional athletes, or you're a sexist or a misogynist or something, that just doesn't like women if we're having an opinion about women's sports. You know who found that out the hard way recently? Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague and the 520 podcast had Charleston White on their podcast. And Charleston White has never been afraid to say what he thinks. And realistically, I'll let you listen to it if you haven't heard it already. It does have some not language that some language that you might not like, but I think it needs to be understood that he said nothing that was all that crazy that wasn't already said by SHAQ on Angel Reese's own podcast. He was a little more graphic, but I want to play for you what he said. And of course, before we jump in, this is Rudy's Rant, powered by Coming Out of the Podcast. We talk facts over feelings. Let's talk about this topic. If you haven't been here before, please be sure to subscribe, like the video, comment on the video, share the video, let everyone know who we are. We're growing and growing and growing. We greatly appreciate you. By the way, if you haven't noticed my new background, I got the New York Yankees on this side. This side is the Miami Heat logo. I don't know why it's blurring out so much. I gotta see what I can do to fix that. But let's show you this video so you see what we're talking about. And while some of the things that Charleston White said are probably not the most appropriate, I'll let you have your own opinion.
Want to see a pussy?
Let's start it back over again.
Angel Reese want to see a pussy. I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to see a pussy.
Nah, she trying to look, Chuck.
She come out too sexual.
Dub, nah, I ain't gonna let you do that one.
You ain't.
She's trying to. I'm trying to have us at the WNBA All-Star.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's your take.
Hey, now B.A. don't never defend the WNBA, so for him to do this, I love this.
I think she's just trying to make sure she don't look like a dude. Like she's trying to keep it like I'm a
She's trying to brand outside of basketball.
Yeah, like I'm a woman. I like men.
It's so many. It's a WNBA player look like me and you. So she's trying to make it seem like
more girly.
Yeah,
she's trying to make it more like. You can still be attracted to it.
You ain't got to be left-handed to play the W, basically what she's saying.
It's a Charleston White and the B here on the FIFA right there.
Ooh,
she's trying to switch the narrative, bro.
I'll take that, dude.
And they dress it like this.
I'll take that. But I still think she need to do OnlyFans, like Shaq said. She need to dunk in her panties. Shaq told her that. Shaq told her she needed to go dunk in her panties. I'm with
Shaq
Shaq.
didn't say that. He was out of
Shaq
pocket.
is wild for saying that.
Y'all stop.
I'm with you, Shaq. I'm with you. Some lace panties. Not no boy shorts. I'm with you, Shaq.
Charleston said not the boy short?
No, dunk in some panties with no bra.
So let's talk about this. He said some, the stuff he said about, look, Shaq sexualized Angel Reese on her podcast. He looked like a creepy ass old uncle. He's in his 50s. He speaks, he doesn't care what he says. Charleston White, feels how he feels. I don't think the guys on the podcast did anything wrong. Yeah, they're giggling. It's funny. He's a comedian. Some of the stuff he said is funny. If you don't have a sense of humor, turn the shit off. No one's forcing you to watch it. No one's forcing you to watch it. And many people have the exact same opinion of Angel Reese, that she really doesn't care about basketball, that all she truly cares about is developing her brand, and her brand being one of largely sexuality. Because if you go through her social, most of her pictures, or many of her pictures, are sexual in nature. or put off a sexual vibe. I mean, you can go right through it. I mean, if you haven't gone through her stuff, I mean, you can go through it and you can see the photos that she puts up there. You can see the videos that she takes on TikTok. You see the things that she posts. Many of those things are very, very risque. She's posted herself and wearing damn near nothing multiple times. She had a lingerie photo shoot. And that's her choice. She has that right to choose and do whatever the hell she feels like. And you know what? Other people have the right to comment on it. Other people have the right to give their opinions on it. The same way people could give their opinions about SHAQ when he played professional basketball, or they could give their opinions about Charles Barkley when he played basketball, or when he threw people out of a window and he'd be talked about on the news in a negative way. Everyone has the right to do what they want to do, but they also have the right to be criticized for what they do when they're a public figure. My little podcast of almost 7,000 followers has the right to say whatever they want to me in response to whatever I say on here. They have the right to unsubscribe if they don't want to watch this anymore. They have the right to comment and say whatever they want to me. I will not be offended. I don't get offended. Being offended is pointless. What should I be offended about? Why should I be offended about your opinion? That's the one thing about Deion Sanders that I absolutely love. What makes you think I care about your opinion of me when that's not my opinion of myself? I know who I am. I know what I stand for. But when I see people attack a podcast like this 520 podcast with Jeff Teague, Bishop B, whatever his name is, and DJ Wells, I think their podcast is utterly hilarious. I think Jeff Teague's one of the funniest former pro athletes there is. Jeff Teague could legitimately do stand-up comedy based on his basketball stories alone. It would have people rolling all over the floor. Why? Because they're also true. That's what makes it even more funny, is that this stuff actually happened. Now, it might be massaged to sound even better than it really was, but it actually happened. Well, Charleston White getting on there and saying what he had to say and them laughing about it. What do you think what do women really think men do at sports bars, in man caves, in male bonding stuff? Do you think they're talking about reading books? Do you think dudes are talking about the book club of the night? Do you think what do you think men talk about? The same shit that women talk about when they're not around men. The same type of things. Yes, women, we know you talk about dudes and how they look and how they smell and how they lay it down and how all those things. We know y'all talk about men, us. Men know y'all talk about us. I'm sorry, you're not just talking about sipping mimosas. Like, get the fuck out of here. Men say crass shit. We are still men. Maybe the new generation of man, the Gen Alpha, the Gen Z, the soft marshmallow isn't like us. But we say some stuff that people would probably say is inappropriate today. Go watch a movie from the 90s and see how appropriate it comes across to this new generation of wuss in today's world. Go watch Rush Hour, any one of them. Go watch Beverly Hills Cop, any one of them. Go watch any comedy in the 80s or 90s and see if it would pass today's soft-ass smell test. That's why there's no comedies left out in television land, because people can't take a fucking joke. And whether Charleston White was joking or not, he was doing it to get a laugh, to get a rise. To sit here and say he thinks Angel Reese should just do OnlyFans, that's his opinion. Guess what? Didn't they just post up that a girl that made $43 million in 1 year doing OnlyFans? I mean, if you're going to strip down to damn near nothing, you might as well make some real money off of it. right? I mean, if you're going to be posting yourself in bikinis and shit like that for the world to see, or showing your ass and when you with a t-shirt that says MFer on it and post it on freaking on TikTok, like, be real. Be real. And then laughing about it is a problem. And then it goes into this stuff about how, attacking black women. Oh, can you stop it? She's a professional athlete. So black men can't have an opinion about black professional athlete females, right? That's literally what this thing has become. You can't talk about women athletes in a negative way because they're women. But no, they're athletes. Those guys are telling you right there, she's doing this stuff so she can look like a woman for her brand. Jeff Teague said that because she doesn't want to be looked at as a masculine woman, for which they're joking and saying, yeah, they're dressing like us as it is. It is. What is it not a fact? Is it not a fact that the WNBA is not heavily not straight? Is it not a fact? What are they? I mean, to have these guys under fire, some of these silly Angel Reese posts protect young women in sports. That was way back in April of 2024 when she says that crap. Here is some comments. Nikias NBA, Nikias Duncan. I'm just seeing the stuff, and dude, just don't talk about the W if you can't even pretend to respect the people involved. What the hell? What does one thing have to do with the other? You can't. Because he doesn't. So Jeff Teague doesn't respect the people in the WNBA because he's talking about the people in the WNBA and joking and getting a laugh at certain things that Charleston White is saying. Notice that Jeff Teague never said any of this stuff. This is literally all that freaking Charleston White said, and they have a problem for laughing. Like, this is what we're now. A comedian is there. We now have a problem with laughing. Think about that for a second. Let me show you something, because you have a problem with laughing at comments made by a comedian about the WNBA that largely many people have about the WNBA. Here you got Ariel Chambers. I wonder what possesses men to get on their respective podcasts and talk so derogatorily about women athletes. The audacity is so alarming. Like, you good, bro? Because what? Ariel Chambers, have you watched some of the stuff that y'all women be putting out there about men? I mean, have you? I would suggest you do a little bit more homework and look at the things that are said about men. Do you have a problem with what Clarissa Shields said about men? Do you have a problem with what Asia Wilson said to Josh Hart to his face, that she would bust his ass in a game of one-on-one when we know that's just not real? Tries to embarrass him on his own podcast. Did you find that okay? I'm just curious. Natalie Esquire. We've seen her. This clown ass. Oh my God. Jeff Teague is a whole clown for this. I hope no player in the W goes on his pod or works with him. League better not even entertain his ass. You think Jeff Teague gives two flying what's about if a WNBA player comes on his podcast? Are you See, this is the self-importance component. She really thinks that Natalie Esquire really, this is the same NBA reporter, right? The reporter for NBC who had no problem co-signing Caitlin Clark being called white bread and racial commentary. No problem with it. Do you really think that the men in the NBA give two flying fucks about if a woman from the WNBA comes on one of their podcasts? About the only person they would want on their podcast is Caitlin Clark. And they all love her. They don't want Angel Reese on their podcast. For what? For what? You know what the Jeff Teague demographic is? You think it's women? I want to check out real quick. how many. They got 512,000 subscribers on this podcast. And I'm going to go through right now real fast. Full episodes. I will tell you this. I'm just scrolling, and I do not find any women on these podcasts. Here, he did a commentary on Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers. They ain't interviewing no females on this damn shit. They're not interviewing women on this thing. They don't even usually interview that many people. There's just 3 dudes that talk. Most of their 99% of their commentary is NBA related. Most of their commentary is NBA related. Because that's what they know is NBA. There's not a bunch of football on here. There's damn sure not WNBA on here. I mean, get the flipping hell out of here. Their demographic is men. It's men. So they're catching a backlash, some outrage. Outrage, what, from 500 people? From some clown media members who want to sound important? You know who benefits from going on Jeff Teague's podcast? Is those same women that you're talking about, Natalie Esquire. Those women actually benefit more from him having someone talk about them and him bringing on their. So you don't want him to go on his podcast. Newsflash, I don't think that we've seen. I mean, I know Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart brought on Angel Wilson, and that backfired in their face. While Angel Wilson's basically emasculated Josh Hart publicly. And he sat there like a simp and took it. Because God forbid a man responds to being insulted, it's a problem. Get out of here. Was what Charleston White said nice? No, it wasn't. But go to Angel Reese's Instagram. Go to her TikTok. Go look at what she dresses in. Go look at what she promotes herself in. It's not too far off. And many people don't think she cares about basketball. So why is that a surprise? You should go see what Charleston White had to say about the WNBA today. He got real nasty with it. I'm not posting that here, but he got really nasty. But then, at the end of the day, he said, "I like Caitlin Clark." You guys, the mob mentality, cancel 520. Man, they're not getting canceled. You don't even watch their shit. So it's the funniest crap. I guarantee you, Natalie Esquire, Ariel Chambers, and Nikias Duncan have never watched one single 520 podcast episode in their lives. This was the only thing that's come down their pathway for them to actually talk about. Like, come on, man. You whatever. And I mean, it looks like they may have had her on the podcast at some point. So they may have had Angel Reese already on their podcast. So I don't know. But I know that they don't have a whole lot of women in the WNBA on their podcast. Here's the reality, man. You have to be able to take it, man. If you don't want to be famous, you better be prepared to be criticized. And that criticism can come in anything. Look at the abuse that Ben Simmons gets now. No one's sitting here screaming for him. Protect him. Protect him. Protect him. No, you're making $40 million a year and you can't make a 5-foot jump shot. 10-foot jump shot, 5-foot layup. You can't make shots in warm-ups. But a comedians and the poke fun. I want to show you something real fast before I go, just to remind you. This is what Bill Burr had to say about the WNBA a few years ago. Well, no, 2 years ago, not that long ago. I didn't see people screaming to cancel Bill Burr. He's a comedian. And while he believes this, he's still a comedian. He's there to draw laughs. Charleston White's a little different type of comedian, but he's still a comedian. So let's play Bill Burr for a second.
I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me. You know, it doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know, and I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why? I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men to stand up and say something? Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. And sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? Yeah. The games. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies. Name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on.
So you got the gist of this thing. Bill Burr said this 2 years ago. Now, he didn't talk about Angel Reese specifically the way Charleston White did, but he was talking about the WNBA. He's talking about the WNBA. And whether you like it or not, Angel Reese was part of the WNBA. And the things that she's become well known for or more known for than her basketball playing skills or lack thereof is the fact that she likes to walk around half naked. And she wants to post herself half naked almost all the time. And most of her shit is sexualized because she's the one doing it. So when a man calls her on it and says, well, maybe she should just do OnlyFans, why are you're so upset? I mean, you can be upset, you can be outraged, you can be appalled, all that good stuff. Be mad. Be mad. But you're being mad for what exactly? Because if that was said about a professional male basketball player saying maybe he should do OnlyFans, no one would blink an eye. Nobody would care. The mob that cares so much about this wouldn't care if that was said the other way around. About if it was 4 women there talking about a male basketball player, they wouldn't care. That's the hypocrisy of all of this. It's all fake. It's fugazi, fabricated bullshit. It's not real. But be offended. You can beg to cancel Jeff Teague's podcast all day. They got 500,000 plus subscribers, of which 480,000 are probably dudes. Because his audience is men. His demo is men. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of what Charleston White had to say? What did you think of the response from the guys on the podcast? Because I don't think those guys did anything wrong but laugh. And I don't think I think there's anything wrong with laughing. I don't think there's anything wrong with laughing. And the guy tried to stop him because he knew where this was going to go with Charleston White. He knew. He knew. But even then, I mean, it's funny, right? Or attempting to be. And everyone wants to be offended. Cancel away, cancel away, cancel away. Maybe we should cancel the WNBA because y'all treat certain players a certain type of way. Should we do that? Should we take that same approach? Should the millions of people that have followed Caitlin Clark to watch her play basketball, should they walk away from watching the WNBA because of the way players in the WNBA treated her last season? The answer is no. It's stupid, right? Exactly. That's all I got. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. I want to hear what you have to say. Appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Round. Come on out of the podcast. Facts over feelings. Come on now.